Mount Sinai, the famous Mount Sinai, was a ship, was a spaceship that the Lord was in, that the angels was in. And Moses went up into the mountain. He didn't go into an actual mountain, he went into a spaceship. And that's where he got the commandments. There were spaceships around him, man. Now y'all deal with that. I was seeing what Nathan was saying about that. Is he going crazy? Nope, not going crazy. Because guess what? We did some research, because we're fact checkers. We did some research on Google, and it says nobody found. We think it might be over here, it might be in Saudi Arabia, it might be in Jerusalem.
You want me to go to Deuteronomy 33?
What does that say? Yeah, you're going to Deuteronomy 33. I know
okay. Deuteronomy 33 and 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of the Heavenly Father, blessed the children of Israel, should say sons of Israel, blessed the sons of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, actually Yahweh, the Lord Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, and he came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. So there had to be the laser beam coming out the chapter, right? Writing the law on the tables of stone.
That's it.
So it had to be a ship. It wasn't an actual mountain.
It wasn't no mountain, man.
Because it says here, and he said, the second verse, the Lord Yahweh came from Sinai and rose up from Seir unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran, so he was traveling. He was traveling. Mountains don't travel. It had to be a ship that was so huge it looked like a mountain, and the ship was traveling. And out of the ship came a laser beam of concentrated fire and wrote the laws for Moses, gave it to Moses. That's what it was.
Yeah, we can't paint a picture. It could have been the mountain that actually a ship, and there was some other ships around it.
Yep. Because it says he came with 10,000s of saints from his right.
What are the saints?
Those are
the
other
saints
angels.
Were Israel, angels in ships, coming down in ships. Isaiah saw the same thing in the book of Isaiah, chapter 6.
That's how the Lord is coming back. The Lord ain't coming back by himself. He's coming back with an army of angels. Michael the Archangel being one of those angels. That's pursuant to Daniel the 12th chapter.
Yeah, he's the second in command.
Right. Then it says, and he came with 10,000 of saints from his right hand went a fiery law for them. From his right hand went a fiery law for them. That again, that's that laser beam coming out of the ship, all right, writing those laws, which he gave to Moses.
Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. The house of David, starting with the 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. Shalom. So you just saw the clip, all right, of the apostles, their street ministry this past weekend, their street sermon, their street speaking. All right, and I thought, that was kind of heavy. How the apostles was breaking down that, Mount Sinai was a so-called UFO, a so-called spaceship, which is a chariot of Israel. All right, because I had never really, thought about that before, man. They were saying how it's not, it wasn't a literal mountain. All right, and that's heavy, man. Well, to me it is in a way, And the thing about it, it makes perfect sense, man. Now, of course, being in this truth for some years now, I knew that, of course, that the law was given by way of the chariots, and the finger of God is talking about, the laser beams coming out of the chariots to scribe the laws unto the tables of stone. Now, of course, I knew that. But, as far as Mount Sinai itself being a so-called UFO, now, I didn't know that, just to be honest, man. So I thought that was kind of heavy, man. But like I said, it makes perfect sense, man, because when you go into the context of the scriptures, you know, only Moses can go into the mount, man. And if you just got a big old literal mountain, man, that wouldn't really be, special, or to stop the people from going up it, so to speak, or because if you got a big mountain like that, of course people gonna go near it and stuff like that. But but it being a so-called UFO spaceship, it makes a lot more sense, man. Because the chariots, when you go into the scriptures, the chariots were described as mountains. Let's start with that one, man. You got to remember what the Idris Salakia. What did the prophet Idris describe Yahweh's and I'll come back to that in Numbers. What did the prophet Idris describe Yahweh's fathership as, man? A mountain. Let's go to it. Second Esdras. Where is it? Second Esdras. 13. So Mount Sinai being a so-called spaceship, a so-called UFO, it makes perfect sense, man. All right. I'm going to go straight to the point. Now, this is the prophet Esdras having a vision of Yahweh's return. I'm going to go straight to the point. Matter of fact, I'll get verse 3. 2 Esdras 13:3 to give you some context. And I beheld, and lo, that man, which is Yahweh, shall wax strong with the thousands of heavens. All right, the heavenly hosts, meaning the angels manning the chariots in so-called UFOs. It's going to be thousands of UFOs. All right, so-called UFOs. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. Yeah, the chariots, so-called UFOs, are going to cover the skies, man. All right, the heavenly hosts. All right. Now I'm going to jump down to the point. 2nd Esdras chapter 13, verse 6. But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. Now, so it's not a literal mountain that he's flying, a flying mountain. No, it's a so-called UFO. It's a so-called spaceship, man. So Mount Sinai being a chariot, it makes perfect sense, man. The prophet Esdras described Yahweh's chariot as a mountain. So yeah, Mount Sinai being a spaceship, it makes perfect sense, man. Makes perfect sense. Now let's go back. What I had highlighted, I had a few lined up. This gonna be quick. Let me erase that. Matter of fact, I'll get it in the blue letter. Matter of fact, I'll go to Exodus first. I'll go to Exodus. What was that? Exodus 19. So yeah, Mount Sinai was a chariot, man, a so-called UFO. All right, and that's heavy to me, man. Exodus 19 and I get this Exodus 19 and 11. All right, and the Lord telling Moses that he's going to come and speak with him, because the people wanted to speak with the Lord, and they didn't want to hear Moses. which is just like now, they don't want to hear the prophets, man. All right, you got Israelites now saying that they can go straight to the Father. They don't got to deal with his prophets. All right, Exodus 19 and 11. And be ready against the third day, for the third day, the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, will come down in the sight of all the people upon Mount Sinai. So the Lord saying he's going to come down in a so-called UFO. All right. And thou shalt set bounds unto the people round about, saying, take heed to yourselves that ye cannot go up into the mount or touch the border of it. Whosoever touches the mount shall surely be put to death. So they couldn't touch the chariot, man. You know, they had to set bounds. All right. And you got to remember what was with the children of Israel coming out of Egypt. The chariots, man. That was that pillar of fire by night and that cloud by day. So, you know, and that shows you how far we felt, because the chariot hovering over the Israelites, that, you know, that was kind of, I wouldn't say normal, all right, back then, but, you know, the people, they weren't dismayed by it. Now, if that happens now, of course, everybody would be dismayed. All right, but back then, you know, it shows you how close we were, the Israelites we were to Yahweh Shema Shah, man. You know, and that came part of our fall was, hey, the chariot is not coming that close to us, man. All right. So I wanted to get that part real quick, but it's another one here in Exodus 19 I wanted to get. All right. Exodus 19. I thought I had it highlighted. Let me see. 23. All right. So what we just read in 11, basically the same thing. And Moses said unto Yahweh Shema Shah, the people cannot come up to Mount Sinai, for thou chargest us, saying, set bounds about the mount and sanctify it. So yeah, man, that's why they couldn't. It was a so-called spaceship, man. All right. So yeah, man. So yeah, it was just strictly for Moses to enter into the spaceship, the so-called spaceship, and get the laws. So when it says he came down from the mountain, meaning he came out of the so-called UFO. All right. Because the Lord makes a distinction, man. All right. Because he visited Sinai by way of a so-called UFO. You see the subheading, the Lord visits Sinai. Now the Lord often distinguishes between, you know, when it's the mountain talking about so-called UFO and the Israelites just being in Sinai. All right. Numbers 3 and 1. These are also the generations of Aaron and Moses in the day that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. So right here telling you that the Lord spake with Moses while Moses was in the so-called UFO, the so-called spaceship. All right. Now we're going to jump down. All right. To show you that it's a distinguished. All right. It's distinguishing. All right. So right here in Numbers 3 and 1, it says that the Lord spake with Moses in Mount Sinai. Now, when you jump down to verse 14, it says, and the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai. So it's a difference, man. All right. You got to remember, the chariots was in Sinai, man. All right, so it's showing you. So when it's talking about the mount specifically, it's talking about a chariot, man, a UFO. All right, that's why the chariot was holy. All right, now I'll close out with this one. Just a few scriptures that I have. I got Exodus 19. What was the other one? Psalm 68. Yeah, Mount Sinai was a chariot, man. That's heavy. Psalm 68. And where is it? 17, showing you that the chariot, so-called UFOs, was in Sinai. And a specific one is Mount Sinai, a chariot, man. A giant so-called UFO. Psalm 68 and 17, the chariots of the Most High are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is among them as in Sinai in the holy place. All right, so yeah, man. This talking about the chariots, showing you that, hey, the chariots was in the wilderness, man. All right, so Mount Sinai was a so-called UFO. It wasn't a literal mountain, man. That's why Edris described Yahushua's chariot as a mountain. All right. So yeah, man, that's heavy, man. So I just wanted to briefly go into that, because I saw that clip, and I had been meaning to do a quick lesson on to get a few scriptures to back it, but I'm just now getting around to it. All right. So yeah, that's heavy, man. Mount Sinai was a so-called UFO, a chariot. So that's beautiful. Hopefully this was edifying to the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. The house of David, starting with the 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. Obal, Shalom.